Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Trekker update. Today is today, the 22nd of January. I'm jumping in for Don and Jane as they are traveling to Punta del Este at the moment. And long time no see. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lutz. I've been on board with Don for a long time now, and so today I'm gonna do the Trek update, and tomorrow as well. Sometime around this time in the afternoon, and let's get right into it. Actually, I haven't looked at the tracker for a long time because, as maybe some of you know, I've been on the 580 Transat that finished in the beginning of January. Let's put me in the corner here, and things are in the move for me a little bit. I'm wrapping up with the OGR by the end of the month, and gonna head to Norway for a skipper job there. So I haven't actually looked at the tracker for a while, and boy, when I looked at it today, it's very interesting. Yeah, there's headwinds, and this all reminds me to the GGR when they all ended up in headwinds after. Well, that was actually before Australia. Before they got to Cape Leuven, but even in the OGR, now that we put the southern waypoints lower, they're getting headwinds again, which is always a bit frustrating. So it's going to be interesting to see over the next days what the boats are, what the entrants are actually doing. If they're going to head south or if they're going to continue north, or if they're just going to try to tack around a bit. I assume, and the wisest decision, I guess, would be to head south towards the center of this massive high pressure system there, as it will move a bit north over the next days. But of course, there's only limited weather access for the entrance, so it will be interesting to see what happens. I watched Don's Trekker update yesterday briefly, and I know he mentioned that he was always he doesn't know what's happening, and no one of us probably knows what's exactly happening on all the boats. But that Spirit of Helsinki was heading north and now is heading south. I guess now it's a little bit more normal what we see here, what's happening here. One thing that I'm always very happy about to see, and what's good for anything, if anything shall happen, and for rescue purposes, is that the fleet sticks together. They're all very close to each other. If we put the ruler over this field, it's just 350 miles from north to south, and also only about 315 miles from west to east. And then Explorer is about 360 miles from the next one as well. So this is very good. That means that if shall anything happen, there's help nearby, and with just 1 or 2 days, and that's really, really, really helpful. So this is something that I saw today, and that made me quite happy to see. I'm just reloading the page here as it got stuck a little bit. Let's get the weather back on. Right, so that was one thing I noticed, besides the headwinds that are coming here. If we look at the leaderboard, which is also very interesting with the changes, to see since Vittorio stepped back, and Salmon are now taking over. Of course, the eyes are a little bit on Translated 9. Will they be able to keep up, and will they be able to maintain their IRC leadership? So at the moment they are second in the IRC, and they are about more than a day behind in the corrected time. Also, if you have noticed that, if you looked at the tracker this morning or throughout the day, there were some quite funny distances made good over the last 24 hours. I think at one point I saw Penduix 6 was a couple, like 1,000 miles, and estimated time was 8 days to Punta. That of course was not right, but now this has all been fixed. We have the correct 24-hour distance made good over the last 24 hours. So this is back to normal. If we then keep looking at the IRC, so we have Triana, we have Translated 9, and then Guyana. Of course, it was a big week for Guyana with the birthday of the captain last week, so that was good news. There must have been a happy boat. and it's great to see. So they had a tricky first leg, then a tricky second leg as well. But it seems like the current conditions are more in favor for them. Tapio knows the waters, of course, and the boat is doing well. The boat is doing really well, and they're keeping up with the top with translated 9 on IRC rating, which is great, which I'm happy to see. Neptune and White Shadow, which is also very interesting. Neptune has been consistent more or less, but they're picking up as well. But especially White Shadow is very interesting because they have been lagging behind over the last during the last legs a little bit, and now they are playing here in the front field of the IRC ranking. So this is all very good. And Explorer. So if we look at the end here a bit, so it's Sterna, Spirit of Helsinki, and Explorer. Also very interesting. Sterna, of course, with Jeremy now as a skipper. He's they have to find the team, they have to find the spirit, they have to get the team together to manage this. So there's still some finding there, and then Explorer started late, as we know, and Spirit of Helsinki, that's a bit of a surprise. Again, what Don mentioned yesterday, this jump north and then south, it did cost them a lot of miles, and we see even in the line owners ranking, they are somewhere far behind, so on the 12th position. So Spirit of Helsinki, that's a bit of a surprise there, but I guess as soon as they find the breeze again and they carry on, they might find the speed again. Pendwick 6 continues to just always be on the front, in the front pack and the leading pack, doing 9 knots here. So that's very consistent as well. Maiden as well, 9 knots. I saw a message. They were asking if it's a bell whistle, if it's foggy, if you can see those southern waypoints. I'm not sure why they wrote that, because I guess they should know that they are quite far away from the point. But then on the other side, if they asked if it's foggy, it might just be foggy. So not many sextant sites and not much astro navigation going on there. So talking about astro, let's have a look at the cloud cover. We see there's a thick cloud cover, so it's very hard for everyone to maintain their positions, to maintain getting accurate positions there. If we look at rain, there's not much happening there as well. I mean, there's this high pressure coming, so that's not affecting them too much. Winds are very calm, fluky, very different, like differing situations, different wind patterns. At the moment, we have the south, these light southerly winds, and if we click through the forecast, it's shifting to the northeasterly. That's coming from the high pressure here. And the high pressure is slowly making its way a bit further north and northeast. So gradually the wind will come from a more northerly direction, but it's overall it's a little bit messy, and there's not too much they can do except for staying on course, maintaining the direction they are sailing in. Neptune, as Don mentioned yesterday, went all the way far south. It's a bit of a harsh I mean, it's always a 4-hour update, of course, so it looks a bit more harsh than the actual sailing route they chose. But maybe they just said, let's go to 51 south and let's stay on 51 south, because you have the arc, the arc of the Earth here, so heading a bit further south and between the southern waypoints does cut miles, and every mile that you can save is a mile that you don't have to sail. So well done, Neptune, and weather-wise it also makes sense at the moment. There's nothing serious coming up here. These lows down there, they are rushing around further in the south, and from the GGR experience, I don't really expect anything too serious until they start to dip south to Cape Horn. But of course, as usual, the road is long and the way is long, so many things can happen. And if you can see here, so that's just this little distance here, so just to the next southern waypoint, it's 900 miles. So if they do 250 a day, that's another 4 days there. So it continues its 4 days, and then it's another 4 days until they start dipping south to Cape Horn. So we have another week to 2 weeks until they get into this area where the low pressures are really rushing through, with the very difficult and challenging swift changes of wind directions, which impact, of course, the sea state a lot, and that makes it very dangerous and difficult. But for now, everybody has to just tackle probably with their spinnakers and their gennikers and their code zeros. Make sure that they don't wrap around any forestay or any sail, and that they don't they don't break them, that they don't put any holes in their light wind sails. Freshly stitched together again in Auckland. So that's the mission for now. It's been 10 minutes already. I've been just rambling on. And I will be back tomorrow again for another update. And then on Wednesday, Dom will be back. So see you tomorrow, probably around the same time, around 6 p.m. In Germany, where I am right now. So that's 5 p.m. UTC. I wish you all a very nice evening. Take care, and see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye.